appreciate Pastor Nunley being with us tonight. At this time, Pastor Nunley, if you could come forward, and I'll ask that everyone stand for our invocation, followed by pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, we are so grateful for the privilege to be back together here. Together, we're so grateful, Lord, for the freedoms that we have in our country. I'm so thankful for this town council, their giving of their time, and know, Lord, that the decisions that lay upon their shoulders have great weight. God, I recognize that there are many things that we don't see day in, day out that they have to field and go through. God, I pray for a special strength for them, each of them, as they stand in this role and they give of their time. God, I pray that you would give them wisdom and discernment in every decision that's made. Lord, we thank you so greatly for all that have fought, and many have died for our freedoms, that we can even be self-governed here. And God, we thank you for that. We ask you now again that you would go with us as a town, Lord, as a community, as a county here, that we would bind our hearts together in unity. And Father, again, I thank you for your love for us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And we do ask these things in his precious name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're now down to the item on the agenda to edit for business, not on the agenda. Any council member have anything they need to add at this time?
Mayor, I'd like to discuss the proposed Moss 3 mega landfill project.
Okay.
Maybe if we could put that somewhere, maybe above public hearing, possibly after accounts payable.
Yeah, we'll do that after the bills section. Anything else on the agenda from any council members? All in favor of the agenda as amended? I need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. All right, I believe am I right, Diane, the only minutes we have were from the May meeting?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty good. We only had the one meeting in May. That's pretty good. Everyone had a chance to read those minutes? I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're now down to approval of our May accounts payable and asset purchases. Did I see an addition here, Drew?
Yes, sir. Addition B is extra session.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Have a motion to approve the May's account payable and capital assets.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Any further discussion?
Yes, Mayor. Drew, do we plan on discussing key supplement in your town manager report?
Yes, to the fire department?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mr. Gilmer,
Yes.
what's your request?
Mayor and Town Council, there continues to be concern in our community regarding this landfill that's coming to Moss 3. And it's not just the greater Lebanon community, but our community. Now, I work in town, I hear it. My concerns are aligned with the concerns that I hear from our citizens. I had requested from the town manager to obtain any information regarding the landfill that they could provide publicly to us. Because I hear a lot of hearsay. I've been to a couple of meetings. I tried to educate myself on the landfill. And did we reach out via email and telephone to the county?
Multiple times, yeah,
I have not heard anything back. So that's, that itself has been a concern of mine. The economic impact, how does this affect the town? I think we will be affected, whether it's air pollution, air quality, quality of life. When I look at these numbers of 6,000 to 10,000 tons of trash coming through our community, 20% by truck, 80% by rail. Well, still that 20%, the majority could be coming right through downtown Lebanon, to get to the landfill. And that comes with, filth and air pollution in itself with those trucks coming through town. Valuation of our homes, does that reach as far as Lebanon with the valuations of our homes? And we've kind of, we're a hometown on the Clinch. We serve as a hub to the Clinch. That was another concern. We market ourselves, being a hub to anybody that accesses the Clinch River, because we want them to visit our restaurants and our hotels and so forth. And I'd like to make a motion tonight, and hopefully get a second for discussion, a letter of opposition for the Moss Street landfill project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. At this point is time for discussion from council. Any council members have any comments or questions at this time? I will say, Mr. Gilmer, that I think all of us, I think everyone here, sitting here, has heard one way or the other from our citizens, either out in business or out in town. And one of the common things that I think that, that I know that I've heard as mayor is the quality of life issue which you addressed. Being the hub, being our access to the Clinch, relationships we have with different agencies, promoting tourism, recreational. In addition, I live on Main Street, and I'm trying to think in my mind if those are tractor trailers coming through with garbage, or if they are, how huge are they? I remember back, I think we all remember, Linda probably more so than anybody, when they did the project at, I guess when they did the changeover to power plant. There were trucks through here daily, several of them, to the point that it actually damaged from the corner of Town Hall here past Post Office. We had, basically we had to redo the road. So, but that's the comment, and I think we've all heard what you have just voiced here from our citizens. So, at this time, if there are no other comments from
I'd like to comment
go ahead.
about the traffic going through, about the traffic going to Cleveland, and about that traffic and what that will mean for people going to work or living kind of that way or going that way. So I can't see that many trucks being on that road going from here on that road. Plus, our road, who's going to repair it? That will be, it'll be torn up, and it'll be a problem for the town from now on if that goes through.
Well, and I think we've all kept up. We're right here in town, so we've all kept up with the information that's been out there from the various meetings that have been with the board of supervisors, the public hearings, as this process has gone on and on. And, you know, you get a lot of information, hard to digest a lot of this information that we hear. And, you know, I don't think any of us are interested in, I mean, I heard somewhere that this could very well have been the, I don't know, 5th largest landfill in our country, in the U.S. I mean, you know, I don't know if that's something we want to hang our hat on or not. So, but I'll be still at this time. I think we've all had a chance to make comments. If there's, I'll ask one more time, any other comments from council?
Mayor, is there any items that the council, not know if this will pass or not? Is there any other items besides the environmental health impact, quality of life, which includes the truck transportation and the Southwest Virginia tourism market? Is there any other items, communication?
Real estate.
Real estate?
Don't forget the other. Now, your motion is to send this letter to the board of supervisors, is that correct?
That's correct. The town manager and the mayor draft a
We'll
letter of
draft a
opposition with
letter if
those,
this passes.
with those concerns.
Do you want to include infrastructure in that, Scott? Or those water lines?
Yeah, infrastructure, water
Sure.
lines, all that, yes.
Mayor, I just like to say that, I mean, the people in here tonight too, that I've spoken with some people and citizens that felt like we're dragging our feet, and as a collective bunch, I know that we don't make too quick of decisions, too rash of decisions without evaluating everything. And I commend our council for taking their time and getting their facts right, and taking that time to listen to the citizens also. We are elected officials for the citizens, to represent the citizens, and I've wrestled with this decision also. I mean, I think we all want community development, we want our area to prosper, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the avenue we need to take to do so. I just want our citizens to know that Lebanon supports everybody, so we're doing our best, and thanks everybody for our patience.
Just to follow up on that, Mayor, just like the citizens of Russell County, I mean, we're here to represent the citizens of the town of Lebanon, but I haven't had anybody come to me yet that says, hey, you know, we're really looking forward to this landfill coming to Russell County. So it's all been negative. You know, what can we do to stop this? Why is this happening here? Why can we not get information freely? I think there's a lot of people, you know, some that are here tonight that have tried to get information, and they've been stonewalled and roadblocked, and some of it may be legal and prospective business and things like that, but when it comes to the majority of the citizens saying no to something, at some point, the representatives have to listen and take action. So I commend the citizens of Russell County and the town of Lebanon for standing up.
Thank you. Anyone else?
We do a roll call.
You like a roll call vote? Ms. Diane?
Who seconded the motion, Mayor?
Deanna?
It'll be a yay for a letter, and a not.
That's correct. You ready? Mr. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lambert?
Yes.
Mr. Cagle?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes for the letter.
Okay. The vote passes unanimous. So, Drew, you and I will need to, tomorrow, get our, Kevin, is there anything that we need direction on this letter that you would think that we need to?
No, I would
As our
just,
town
I would
attorney.
just put in at the, you know, the meeting that the council voted to express its opposition to the landfill project for the reasons cited.
Okay.
I think that's all you need to do.
All right.
Just notify them of that vote.
Okay, thank you. Okay. As advertised, we're now in public hearing for the 24-25 Town of Lebanon budget, which has been advertised. Need to remind everyone, and Scott or Drew, probably Diane, will be our reminder that we need tonight procedure and the legal requirements, Mr. Taylor, is 14 days from tonight, is that right? So, in other words, we won't adjourn tonight, we need to adjourn to reconvene on the 24th, 2 weeks from tonight, to pass the budget. Okay? So, with that said, any comments from the public regarding the budget that's been advertised?
Good evening. I come to you probably for the final time as the director of Russell County Public Library because I'm retiring.
Congratulations on retirement. I recommend it.
Well, everybody says that, and I'm personally tired of hearing those people say, well, I don't know how I have time to work. But I did want to do my due diligence since I'm still director. The town of Lebanon has given money to the library out of their allocations for time immemorial, I don't know, before me. But over the course of the years, the amount of money that has been given has actually dropped, despite, as you know, everything else in the world has gone up. And the thing that I would say to you is I hope you find it possible to give us more money. I would even recommend that you sort of think about bumping us up every year or so for a few years, because I'm embarrassed for you, because when I started, first thing I did was open the Honecker branch. And when I went to the town council there and said, could you please give some money? Lebanon gives money because there's a library in Lebanon. I used the town here. I used their numbers as my guide. I said the town of Lebanon gives $1.50 per capita. And I'd like for you to try and tackle that. And they didn't at first, but they built it up. At this point, Honecker is giving us $2.50 per capita. Lebanon is giving us 96 cents per capita. So, just as far as keeping up with the Joneses, as it were, or the Honeckers, I would encourage you to do that. The library, the town has really upped their game. The festival this weekend, the theater, you know, the splash pad, they really upped their game in providing recreation and activities. The library's been doing recreation and activities for almost, you know, right at 50, 60 years now. And just as an example that you might not think of, a lot of people like to do genealogy. I went in and counted, and in the calendar year 23, we had over 350 visitors in the local history room. And they ranged from mostly Virginia, but there were 10 other states represented. I'm sure there may have been more, but we just have a visitor's book. People sign what family they're looking for. And we have people from 10 states. The ones you might think of, like our neighbors, but we have people from Colorado and Texas, and, you know, I was kind of impressed. So that's my plea. I hope you can see your way to give us more money. And maybe next month you'll have an introduction to your new library and who starts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments at this time regarding the budget? Okay. We'll make a mess of here yet. This time I'll close the public hearing regarding the budgets, and we will now move to public requests that have signed up previously. Trevor Alexander. He was the Eagle Scout, is that correct? Angie Carpenter.
I guess that's me.
Hello, Miss Carpenter.
How are you?
We're good.
Hello. Hope everybody's recuperated from the weekend.
We're getting there.
I just wanted to come and introduce a new project that I've been working on for several months now. You may have seen it on Facebook if you follow me. I have started a TV channel / station, except you don't have to have stations anymore because everything's digital. And it's going to be called Mountain Arrow Productions. I put together a really short presentation since I don't really have a whole lot to show you just yet. I do want to be able to use this to help market Lebanon. I've already spoke with the county, and the county's going to be using it as their media source too. So there's several opportunities. You can read through here a couple of things. The reason I wanted to do this was to promote Where We Live, because y'all know I love Where We Live. A couple pages in, there's some information. The channel's actually on Roku, which is free to the public. Some channels on there are paid, but our channel will be free for anybody who wants to watch it. It's actually already live. I just don't have any content on there. That's what I'm working on right now, is content. I'm working on licensing so that we can have TV shows and movies until we can fill it up with all local content. The Roku channel was established in 2002, so it's very well known. It's the most viewed streaming service there is. There's 120 million households that view Roku, so it wouldn't just be seen locally, it would be seen anywhere that they have it. And it can be viewed on any device. You can watch it on your phone, so people can watch what we have going on in our area from anywhere.
So the channel, you said it's free channel, is it like a number?
Yeah, it's actually, if you have a smart TV, which most people do, and you have Roku, that Roku streaming, it's a channel on there.
Oh,
It's called Mountain Arrow Productions.
All right, you're part of Roku, that's
Yes.
where it'll be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so some of the things that I can offer for the town is to host the town council meetings on there, so people would be able to view them if they couldn't come here or didn't have access to YouTube or internet or anything like that. They can watch it on the TV. We can market for all the town-sponsored events. We can do emergency announcements. I know sometimes there's water main issues and different things, road closures, and we can put all that on there. The way I'm doing it with the county is we'll just have a template, and they'll fill in the information, send it over to me, and I can pop it right onto the TV fairly quickly, actually. General information, like if you had a job that you needed to be posted, we could put that out there and reach a whole lot more people. And there's also potential for additional streaming services. I can add, and probably will next year, Apple TV and YouTube. We can have it all on there. So that's a lot more viewership that would be seen. And then on the last page, I'm sorry this is not in color, but we didn't have good internet service today. The last page is kind of what the price range would be. And I'm trying to make this as affordable for people who live in our area, for businesses that want to market and do commercials and stuff. Hugely competitive to what you would get if you went to like WCYB or any of those places to do. And I will tell you that currently for Roku, the average campaign is $500 to start with. And that is if you already have a produced commercial to put on there. They charge you $500 just to put it on there. So this service would be a monthly service. And if you had something that was already produced, a reel from Facebook or anything that you wanted me to use, we would just automatically put it on there for that monthly fee. But if there's something that was bigger that you wanted me to digitally create for you, I would charge a little bit extra, but not much. So, any questions?
Okay.
I'm about to lose my voice because I'm a little peony today.
Well,
Also, there's a lot of potential to be able to do our tourism things and have TV shows. I do know that, do y'all know Urban and Lily Ellis? They're from Castlewood. They're actually doing a TV show now. They have worked with Mountain Men, and their show's going to be on our channel. So I do have several people wanting to put things on there already. So.
okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for this info. Thank you.
Just let me know if I have any more questions.
Thank you. Is there a sign-up sheet?
I misunderstood, you can mark me on.
Oh, okay. You're on there. Sherry Patton.
I'm good, how are y'all? Okay. Hey, I'm Sherry Patton, I live in Hansonville, and I want y'all to know, you're just taking the wind out of my sails. I came in here, I was just gonna give you fire and brimstone about how we should be writing this letter, because as you can see, I'm opposed to this. But, so since that part's taken care of, I want to say thank you all very much for voting for this. You know, the people in this landfill, opposition to the landfill group, we have been fighting for our lives, y'all's lives, everybody in this county. And I know, Mr. Gilmer, you said you had tried to get some information and the county hadn't given it back to y'all. If you want, anybody wants to go on Facebook, We Say No to Moss 3 is a Facebook group. And there are documents and studies and surveys because we, the people, unfortunately, have done 90% of the work because unfortunately the board was just like, yeah, this sounds like a great idea, but they didn't look into the fact that there's sinkholes and what happens when you put a landfill on top of an abandoned mine. They just, in my opinion, you know, I'm not slandering anybody, but in my opinion, I think they just kind of looked at the numbers and didn't consider the long-term ramifications. So, anyway, so what this whole map is, the reason that I sent it, on the first page, in square 109 is Cargo. And then what I did was I took, and you can see faintly, because unfortunately this isn't in color either, but there is a circular, you know, with Cargo as the center. Then there's a 6-mile radius around that. There's 2 reasons for the 6-mile radius. Number one, John Matney, who is behind, you know, the landfill, his house, his $7.5 million house, is 6.8 miles from the Bristol landfill. And it's on the market because apparently it's getting too stinky for him down there. So I want y'all to, you know, take a look at this 6 miles from Cargo. And as you can see, it goes straight through Lebanon. The high school is in there, the middle school. And, you know, we talked about smelling things. Well, the guy from the Sierra Club, it's like, if you can smell it, those are toxic chemicals that are working their way into your lungs and will affect your body. So it's not just a matter of an inconvenience, it's an actual health hazard. So, and to be perfectly honest and perfectly fair, the other reason that this only is 6 miles radius is because that's as far as my protractor would go. So that's what I had to kind of stick with. But anyway, I want to just reiterate how pleased I am that y'all are going to write this letter. I think it'll mean a lot. There are 4,000 people on our Facebook group that are fighting against this landfill now, and because, and I don't want to sound like, you know, the sky is falling, but in my honest opinion, from everything that I've read, all the studying that I've done over the past 4 months, this landfill is going to kill this county and probably Wise County. It's going to destroy St. Paul. Cleveland might as well not even exist. And again, those trucks, easiest way to get to Cargo, right across the street here. So it's going to be a mess, and I hope y'all just oppose it as much as you can. And also, Mr. Schott, Short, I'm sorry, I forgot some of them. But if you want to check with Amy Branson or look on the Facebook group if you might need a template or anything for this letter, because Scott County has written a letter of opposition, and I think Wise has also, but I'm not sure. But those are on the website, and you can take a look at those for ideas.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, and lastly, I made all these little copies at the library, so please consider what this one says.
Thank you. Harley.
I'm not going to take long. Scott made all the arguments I was going to try to make a while ago, and I appreciate you having the nerve to make that motion. Also agree with Elijah out here. I hope the Board of Supervisors heard you loud and clear, and that I think elected officials need to pay attention to what the public's saying, particularly when it's very clear and loud. I don't know what'll happen. We're going on after the Board of Supervisors meeting here after a while. We may get a vote tonight, we may not. But I hope that news will reach them pretty quick tonight with regard to the action you all are taking. And I will tell you, I had an interesting conversation with a person in Arlington today, the professional over there, we'll say. And apparently they're getting a little concerned about if this thing does go in, God forbid. They're concerned about the traffic jam it's going to create in Athens, and they're saying they're not going to let the trash trucks jam up Athens, and I don't know how they're going to stop it. So people are starting to pay a little bit of attention. But you are on the right side, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, Artie.
Thank you, Artie.
Jeremiah.
Mr. Gilmer, Mr. Patton, and Mr. Sneeds covered everything I was gonna say.
How you been?
I'm doing
Good
good.
to see you, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for y'all's support.
All right, Mr. Myers, I believe you're up. Community Development Block Grant for our Lebanon Villas infrastructure project. You have 1 minute.
1 minute.
Just kidding.
Well,
Just kidding.
I'm just gonna throw all this.
58, 57.
Mayor, council members, and I've said it publicly, and I'll say it again, Lebanon, best managed town in the state.
Thank you.
And I don't need anything, other than the council's consideration on the resolution and the MOU between our agency and the town. And in saying that, Mayor, the MOU, council has been so supportive of this development. And without the town's partnership from day one, I wouldn't be pursuing this project. The town has not only committed in partnership, but it's shown it financially too in the past. So, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And hopefully you've got a project summary sheet.
We do.
We have been very, very active, and I'm proud that I've, in my own little way, have helped maybe removed an eyesore from our community, but also I'm very proud of the amount of investment that we're bringing into the community. So,
Well, I think, Keith, you know, you talk about removing the eyesore out there, that certainly as a governing body was on our minds, but the ultimate project, the end goal is who you're serving. And this is something I think we're all excited about, to serve our local moderate income, particularly our senior citizen group. We are excited about that opportunity for our citizens in this project. And we really appreciate your vision and the board's vision in approaching us on this project, and we're pleased. We've been very pleased to be part of a partner in this, along with several other agencies. So we wish you the best. Particularly, when you're done, I'm going to read this resolution you need to get approved tonight, and then the memorandum of understanding. Just kind of explain briefly what that means for this particular grant.
And it's strictly just a partnership that we're collectively working together to pursue the funding from DHCD for the block grant. And we've identified it specifically for infrastructure. So,
Well, while we've got you, everyone here wants to know, in your mind, in your crystal ball that you have,
right?
I'm gonna write it down.
what kind of, we've been at this, you know, buddy, almost 2 years. We're kind of interested in anticipated actually turning dirt on these facilities.
And you referenced 2 years. There is nobody there, I promise you, I've been living and working about 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
That wants to see dirt turned more than me. But we have, and I'm putting a presentation together for this project, and I have been from day one, and I think I've encountered probably everything that could possibly go wrong has to include a pandemic.
Yeah, you do have the
Civil
code
structure.
Yeah.
The most recent thing, the current architect on the plans went to the public sector and left the project. So, but the Lake Group has brought on another architect, and he's already dug in. We have contractual agreements in place. We bid it out for a construction manager. And the purpose of this, and I'm going to get to your question, Mayor, don't cut me off.
I'm not going to cut you off.
Construction management is going to be Quisenberry's, so local firm here, construction firm. But between the construction manager and the architect of working to make sure that the project is brought in on a budget. And then we would move from construction management service to a guaranteed maximum price for construction. Now, this is the point I'm knocking on wood, Scott. He's writing, I've seen him.
He's writing.
Best case scenario, we are hopeful late fall, potentially September, that we're able to close, get a guaranteed maximum pricing, and that we're actually digging dirt late this year. Now, the block grant, we're still uncertain of market conditions. I'm still uncertain if I have enough money until our architect and construction manager hammer this thing out. Worst case scenario could be spring that we're digging dirt.
Okay.
We're close. We're close. Go saying as close as we've ever been, but the project is coming along. And I'm happy to report that
Okay.
to the council tonight.
Okay. Now, do we have, council members have questions for Keith while he's here?
You said it's no longer two-story, I mean, like, it's one level, just all these apartments or complexes, it's one level of commercial,
Right.
or just the commercial
Just the
part?
commercial.
Just the commercial part was removed. There was 3 units that was stacked on top of the commercial component, and they've been brought down to ground level. Again, on our end, that was a process to try to drive down costs. And now we're working, we brought in more funding. I have secured more tax credits. I have secured more energy efficiency money. And now we're pursuing the block grant funding with the council's blessing.
Keith, remind me, did we secure CPROC money for the retail section, and were they willing to amend that and put it towards the project? Did we end up doing that, Mayor? I don't recall.
Initially, we were the recipient.
Did we pull that out?
And I've
We've got it now.
Yeah, we had to pull it because it was for commercial, but now, our board recognition now, I think changed, we're going towards the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, and I asked that we would
Okay.
push it back to the town.
The pavilion, I think.
Mr. Perkins left here pretty positive, Keith, and his mindset on this recent, what we're getting ready to vote on, as I just read, on this grant. He feels pretty good that we're a viable candidate for that application.
Yeah.
Of course, we've worked with him for several years, the block grant people and Cumberland Plateau, so I feel pretty good.
Yeah. No better than the planning district when it comes to grant writing.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, DHCD loves Southwest Virginia. They just do. But it is a competitive application.
Sure.
But we are confident with the funding that we have in place, secured partnerships, our project should rank well.
Yeah.
We should be extremely competitive, yes.
I'm gonna read this resolution. You ready for me to do that? Or you got anything else?
I have nothing unless any other councilman.
I do have a question. That grant, Mr. Cates, is it, for some reason that we did not receive, or we weren't elected for that grant, what kind of, I guess, how would that hold this project up, or would it hold it up completely? And if it does, what about all these other grants that already have money allocated? What would be the impact?
And that's a great question, and thank you. We view the block grant as potentially, and for lack of a better word, a backstop. We're hedging our bet with what if. We feel pretty good about the funding we've got secured in the additional credits and green energy money that we received already. I'm waiting on the architect and construction manager to do their due diligence to see just how close we are. Feel pretty confident where we're at.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Okay, this agreeable council, this time I'm gonna read the first part. First of all, based on the explanation that Keith gave us regarding the memorandum of understanding, which is basically us continuing to work together like we have been on various, I have a motion to approve this memorandum of understanding with the Cumberland Plateau Regional Housing Authority and Plateau. Go ahead.
So moved, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Do we, Kevin will review it also, correct?
I have, it's
Okay.
appropriate.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This time we're going to meet the requirements, and we'll read this resolution. Be it resolved that pursuant to two public hearings held on May 9th and June 10th, 2024, the town of Lebanon wishes to apply for $2 million of community development block grant funds for the Main Street Villas infrastructure project in partnership and collaboration with the Cumberland Plateau Regional Housing Authority. Whereas the Cumberland Plateau Regional Housing Authority has gathered approximately $9,195,889 in funding for the Main Street Villas housing development located in the town of Lebanon on East Main Street. And whereas the Main Street Villas housing development includes the construction of 21 housing units, of which each unit may house 1 to 2 individuals, with the intended residents to be over the age of 62 and low to moderate income. And whereas the town of Lebanon acknowledges that housing, including housing for the elderly and low to moderate income individuals, is a major need for the town and surrounding area. And whereas $2 million of the CDBG funds and the $9,195,889 of leverage funds from various sources, including local, state, and federal funds, have or will be expended on this project. Should the aforementioned CDBG application be accepted, it is projected that as few as 21 people, as many as 42 people will benefit from the implementation of this project. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Lebanon, Virginia, hereby authorizes the submission of this Community Development Block Grant proposal to the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development. Furthermore, the Town of Lebanon hereby authorizes the Mayor Nelson A. Tony Doty to sign the appropriate documents needed for the proposal submission this 10th day of June 2024. Is there a motion to accept this resolution?
Mr. Mayor, I don't mean to interrupt, but since it is sort of a public hearing, you may want to see if anybody has any.
We had a public hearing.
Man, this is a public, I think when you read it, you said this is a.
We had it at 5:30, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I misunderstood. I wasn't here till 6.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, and I apologize. Under the tax credits,
Yep.
the age limit is actually 55. And 55 or older.
Well, you gonna give us a new one?
Yes. And Charlie, I've already texted them that should the council approve the resolution, that it would need to be changed from 55. 55 or
Is he gonna change it, or you change it?
He will. That's his.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring an application. It's the new elderly, 55 plus.
So you come in here and threw me a curveball. That's not gonna keep.
Charlie threw it. I'm cleaning up.
Okay.
Striker put 55 on it, Mayor, was approved.
Yeah. That's what we'll do. I need to, that's good. I need a motion to approve this resolution as amended to the age of 55 years and low to moderate income. Is that what you need?
Correct.
Now, did I get a motion for how far did we get? Have we had the motion in second before Kevin asked me a question?
No, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Drew, can you reach out to the Bowling team and let them know that was added, because that was one of their requests.
Yeah, the tabs has to be. I will, yeah, Brett, thanks, sir.
Are we going, do you want us to change, do we need to change?
This is my design, Charlie's design. Change it.
He can change it, okay, good, gotcha. We're good. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, everybody.
Myers. It's good to see you.
How you doing?
Okay. We're now down to the pavement marking bids. I think we have one. Is that right, Miss Diane?
Yes, sir.
Prove it now, is this a 3-year bid?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You ready, Miss Diane? This is from Clatterbuck Pavement Markings Incorporated. Total bid including all quantities for thermal and latex unit prices per foot. 90, am I reading this right? $94.72. $94.72.
So that is a total. I have like a foot of latex and a foot of thermal
You talk about that sheet?
and.
All right. Four-inch width white paint line per linear foot. Latex is 35 cents, thermal 95 cents. Is that what you're asking? Do I go down every one of these?
I think the total of that equals the.
It equals the $94.72. That's how they come up with the.
Right.
So they've got the latex, they got the yellow lines, the curving, 24-inch width white paint, yellow paint, 12-inch width white paint, parking lines is in here, is that right? Directional arrows, standard school markings, word school for each, and all handicap symbols. So the latex per foot totals $34.92. And the thermal per foot totals $59.80, which gives us the total of $94.72. So, at this time, is there a motion regarding the street marking? This is for 3 years, correct?
Is that the only bid?
Is that what we did here that we received?
So moved, Mayor.
How long would, I'll second it for discussion, Mayor.
All right, we got a motion and a second, okay.
Did we do the paving for 3 years or 2 years?
In 3 years. But this one's a little better because it starts July 1 with fiscal year paving in November.
Sounds good. So this will last longer than the paving, a few months.
Yeah,
That's good. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, the next item here, the last item under new business is the Russell Theater seasonal passes. Ms. Jackson, is this something that you
I
want to discuss?
just wanted, I've had several people request that or ask about that.
Okay,
And Shane, he said he was just kind of brainstorming, but this is under your information. And what we need to do, I guess, is just everybody just look at that and see if that's something we want to do. This is just for the remainder of 2024. The information that's in your.
is that top three, is that movies?
The top three
Mhm.
is,
Pick 3, pick
Yes,
6, pick
yes.
12?
and all access is the 335.
Which would include
All the
shows.
yeah,
and-
shows and the,
Okay,
and then just for movies, he has $75, and all movie passes, $105. The summer blockbuster is $75, all movies, $105. for the remainder
For
of
the
2024.
2024. Yeah,
So I don't know if that's something anybody's talked with you all about or not, but I think it would be a good idea. And then after this year, we could revisit this and see what we want to do, if we still want to do that. If we don't have any interest or not enough interest in the remainder of this year, we may not even want to do it again.
Kim, does this require a motion or just to let Drew and Shane work on this?
I think
Approve the passes probably?
you probably would need to approve the amounts. I think the council would probably need to approve the admission fees.
Well, how does council feel about moving forward on this from now? I assume this is from now till December 31st. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So remainder of 24, pick 3, pick 6, pick 12, that's shows.
That's movies.
Well, how much is the movie? I think it's gonna have to be, I think it shows or movies, because down at the bottom it says 20 movies for $75.
Yeah.
Are you saying those
Should be $15.
remainder of 24, those three are the shows?
Just a minute, look, according to the price, yeah, because like I said, down below, if you go to summer blockbuster movie pass, 20 movies for $75.
Deanna, do you know if he gave a discount, if this gives any kind of discount?
I'm sure
He
there
does.
is.
It depends if the movie is sponsored, we do different rates, depending on if it's a sponsored movie or not versus non-sponsored. He does give the schools, a discount.
Because sometimes they're free, sometimes $2.
He did group, like Star Wars weekend, he grouped the movies, if you were to watch all 3 or all 4 of the series, like he gave a discount. So he's been kind of grouping stuff together, I think, and setting the rates.
And it's a pretty hard concept, really, to come up with, since we just opened it, but also trying to get a feel for how many people are actually coming to these movies. But I mean, I commend him for his efforts, because he did exactly what you asked of him, so.
I'm thinking, what we're going to meet again this month on the 24th. Drew, you might want, are y'all agreeable for Drew to talk to Shemaine a little bit and actually come to the meeting and answer some of these questions? Is everybody here agreeable with that?
Right.
Before we pass this?
Yes, I definitely do, because this is all the information I have.
I mean, I like a little more breakdown, specific breakdown of what this means. That's what
Well, I think it would be good if we have enough that wants to do this.
Oh, yeah.
But if we don't have any, that many people that would see a need for this, I think it would be hard to keep up with and that kind of thing too, and a lot of work maybe.
Okay.
Just for a few people. So we could
Are you good
table it for
until then?
24.
Did you make that note there, Mr. Short?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody agreeable with that? Mr. Leonard?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Kegley? Mr. Lambert?
Yes.
Ms. Fields? Mr. Gilman?
Yes.
All right, we're down to town manager's report. You're up. You're at the plate, Mr. Short.
Use that first. You all had a couple of additions to my manager report too, so that's what some of those pictures were.
What are your additions?
The, as Scott mentioned a little addition to the fireplace, that's
Fireplace.
fire department for the upgrades out there, that's what those pictures are for, I'll get to them here.
Okay.
Probably get to them actually during my first one since it's part of the fire department, but I've got quotes here from Bristol Signs for the fire department signage for the renovation. Attempt after attempt after attempt, I've still not ever received anything from Jerry Signs. So, I put Bristol Signs quotes in here. I did contact Bristol Signs. They gave us this quote a couple months back. It is still good. It says 30 days on it, but the quote is still good.
I'm sorry, I lost. Is it in the
It's
packet?
in the information tab back.
No, not in your report.
No, sir. It's in that information, and we'd also be able, that quote has sales tax on it also, so we'll remove that sales tax from the quote.
And we did direct solicit, like Drew said, Mayor, to Jerry Signs.
It's a Bristol sign page there, it's the total of $14,619.58.
Should be right from that.
14,619.58 minus the tax. Or 1440.
1440.02 minus the tax.
Keep going.
Should have been right there from that.
I don't have it.
It is after, it's in the information. About
After the front row page.
Is that the front row?
Third page from the back, Mayor.
About to get it.
front row sandwich Bristol Signs
He
there.
doesn't have.
I don't have it.
There you go, pass that.
I can read
You're
it.
legal, no problem.
Very good. Glasses.
Thank you, July. I did get shrimp sauce.
Oh,
Shrimp sauce or cocktail sauce?
Cocktail
There's a
sauce.
difference.
But,
You the best, man.
I feel, even though we didn't get back from Jerry Signs, I feel we still need to move forward on this, quote from Bristol Signs, because they're gonna have to get with Keith to design an anchoring system, while they're putting up that rock, put that on.
Putting up what kind of system?
An anchor system,
Oh,
figure out how
right.
to anchor that sign, fabricate that.
So it's gonna be kind of, am I reading this right, it'll be lit from behind?
The one on the top will be lit from behind, the one on the side will be like it is over here, looks
Yeah.
like an illuminated box. That's kind of neat,
Okay.
but they're both illuminated lights.
All right. All right. That's your first thing on your agenda?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve Bristol Signs or, accept the quote of $14,040.02 for fire department signage.
second.
Motion and a second, further discussion?
Mayor, will we have is there any chance of getting some type of a rendering to make sure we know what we're purchasing here prior? I know we have that rendering.
Yeah, well, I think that is based off of what Nathan did, all the
This
information.
is from that corresponding with Nathan.
Matches up back with that rendering.
I just want to make sure we don't approve that, and then when it gets here, we're like, oh, we thought we were getting.
Yeah.
Jerry Signs in Bristol, I think both came to take measurements
Mhm.
of the fire department.
Now, like I said, Nathan did rendering off what he sent in for those signs.
Sounds good. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay?
Thank you. While we're on the fire department, I'll go ahead and we'll talk about the picture that I handed out. Pictures, Keith has started on this rock on the wall on the fire department. I think at first he thought maybe we would have to remove that siding, the metal siding. But looking at it, if you remove the metal siding, you'd have to reframe the entire wall to get that rock on it. So since that, if you look at that, you see how much that rock sticks out over that ledge. There's nothing there to hold the rock on there. So what we're going to have to do is lay block on the bottom part over top of lay brick over top of the original block, if that makes sense. So
So you stack brick from the concrete out.
Basically, what we would do here, so if you see this ledge here,
Yeah.
there's nothing under that to hold that rock on. So where this rock, where this split face stone is at, is what we'll lay. There'll be brick laid out there that'll be flush with
Will it
that.
match the stone?
It ain't same color, it's in your rendering in the information packet, all the way back last page. So there's a rendering of what it looks like.
Diane, did I get this one?
I hope so.
I got it, Diane.
Nathan and John Michael actually like the brick better than this painted split face block on the rendering.
It's cleaner.
Yeah, well, it's also, like I said, structurally, that rock's gonna have something to sit on, that's not there right now. This was kind of, I guess, came up in the midst of Keith's work, so it was last minute to get a quote. We got a quote from Keith to lay the brick over the foundation, and it would also include black trim, metal drop edge on that brick for $5,850. And that would be painting the black, painting the brick black.
That includes doing the project, and it'll look like what this design shows.
Correct.
That's a
That's
material.
the area that
Wow.
besides that.
There's a ledge right
Yeah, that block, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
So when you say paint the brick black, will it be a contrast grout or will it be all the same color?
It would be, I think it'd be all the
It'd
same,
be all the same
match
color.
the block that's out there, the split face that's out there on the rest of the building.
We need to make sure that Nathan gets consulted on the color of the paint.
Okay.
I know maybe Keith had a question about that, but we need to make sure Nathan's involved in that process.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna look like this design, that's what you're asking. Is it
gonna look like this.
something?
No, just Keith had a question about the shade of the charcoal color on the
Yeah.
brick,
Oh, okay.
and I think Nathan, he can get with Nathan.
Oh,
on
okay,
that.
gotcha.
I'm sure it might take a couple samples, before they paint the whole thing.
All right.
But the brick looks good.
Yeah.
It looks cleaner, tighter.
Next thing, it supports the rock, those things keep going.
Thank you.
We haven't voted yet.
Can you update us on the internal, where are we on the projects on the inside?
I don't believe we voted on,
Oh, we did not?
I think we had a motion,
You're at discussion.
second. We didn't vote.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, same sign.
The bathroom has been worked on now. I think that they may even be complete since last time I've been out there, but as far as, the renovation inside work,
You gotta work on the inside.
that'll be after Keith's done, out of the way.
And what's the is, the ceiling gonna, is it, Mr. Robinette's company is doing it for those apartments that the housing authority
Correct.
owned? And they're gonna be doing the ceiling for the fire department.
Correct.
We're all working together.
Yep. Yes, sir. He got a contract for Cumberland and he got the bid for us.
And what we decide on the parking lines? Clairbook will do those? Okay. Carry on.
We looked at doing those thermal also,
Yes.
so that way it's nice and thick, reflective also, there, instead of latex.
Okay.
So it's, with the type of money we're gonna do to this renovation, I think thermal is the best way to go.
It'll last.
The next thing on my manager report is a request from Shane, Parks and Rec Department. We'll see some emails and quotes in the information tab. The first one is, he's asking for new lighting, or some additional lighting and lighting upgrades. I think that he talked to the mayor about getting a quote from Donnie, so I asked him to get some more quotes, and that's when he did let us know in the theater that they are the sole proprietor of these lighting fixtures, so they weren't able to get any other quotes for them.
All right, Now, this is me going to the shows. I'm talking about the shows.
Okay.
So the lead singers and the front men who are performing, if you've been there, you can only see half of their body.
Or cuts their head off.
Or, yeah, cuts their head off.
Okay.
Now, I was hoping that one of these proposals,
This is.
Donnie mentioned that he was gonna send a proposal to take care of the lighting at the front of the stage. Is
That's
this
what-
the one?
That's what this is for.
Okay.
That's what was requested by him, that Shane said you want to talk about. Moving head spotlight fixture.
Okay, so this will solve that problem, is my, Mr. Short.
Correct. As far as, that would be a Shane Farmer question. He's got all this information, but he led me to believe that you and Donnie had fixed all this.
Yeah.
So, this is whatever you and Donnie have talked about.
I told him the same thing I told y'all. I mean, it's hard to watch a performer from the neck down.
Well, my understanding too, Mayor, is this gives us additional lighting, kind of like our Cedar Fest stage where you have a little bit better motion lights,
Yes.
performance lighting, instead of standard house lighting, stage
Yeah.
lighting.
Okay.
For only $12,000.
That proprietorship means a lot to them, doesn't it? All right, what's your pleasure? I'm asking you all to approve this so we can get appropriate lighting in the theater.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Any idea where we're at on the budget with Parks and Rec Drew? I think we're okay.
We're okay, but we're getting closer to, this will put us pretty close. If the next two items go through, it'll be pretty close.
You're talking about it'll end through June 30th, the current budget?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And before you go any further, Diane, it's in here. It was in between these front row music bids.
That's the way ours is too. You talking Bristol sign?
Yeah, Bristol Sound, that's where I'm at.
Snuck it in there on us.
Mine was in front of Bristol sign.
Okay.
I think you're doing a great job, and I appreciate you preparing it for us.
Oh.
We can put it together ourselves right now.
And the cocktail sauces.
What in the world are you after? My goodness. Go ahead, Mr. Short.
And while we're on the theater, I just had the lighting originally, but we've added, Shane got me this quote. I guess it was late Friday, so we were able to put that in there. This one is for two 85-inch screens on set flush with the wall in the theater above the steps, and they'll fold out for any kind of advertising commercial. Said that he was approached to ask for this one as well. This is for, basically it's like the TV screens, and they're having to fabricate brackets. But they're flush against the wall, and he needs to pull them out, but by the steps you can pull them out to use the screens for presentations or displays or advertising.
Meetings, is that what you're talking about?
But anything.
Where is it located?
So as you look at the steps, it'll be flush on the wall above the steps until you pull them out, and they'll be right above the steps in front of the curtain.
So it'll be down next to the stage flush, and they'll open up toward the crowd.
Yeah, but they'll be like, if you're going up the steps, they'll be flush on the wall until they're pulled out.
Okay. And he was approached about this?
He just brought this to me and said he was asked to get it. I said this came Friday evening.
I'd like to table this.
Okay.
I would. Y'all all right with tabling this for a little bit more discussion?
I said
We can talk more about it on the 24th.
There you go.
We were running around in circles Friday evening quite a bit for.
I moved the table, it, Mayor.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Put it next year's budget.
next thing was the, for some Parks and Rec stuff over here. The ball field lights, I guess Brad probably direct most of those questions to you. I met with Jim Porter. He's working on getting us a quote. I've still not got back to Mr. Wiley or Stephen Wiley from Musco, still haven't got back to me. Even though they've been calling 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. But Jim came by with Darren to look at these over here. And before he can give us an exact quote, and I guess before we ask other people to get a quote for apples to apples, are you interested, are you looking at getting that Little League official, or are we trying to light it up more? Because they have the Little League official rules, and apparently they don't allow wooden poles anymore.
They have to be
Galvanized or Dutch iron poles. And
I would like it's gonna be the same, not much difference in money, I don't think. I'd like to just do it the right way.
Do it, have everything be, so, and where he's got 50-foot poles, if they require 60, put the 60, do everything in, get a quote.
Because those guidelines have, this pole here has to be this pole here. No, I'd like it to be done the right way. Because just like right now, we're gonna have a state tournament, and I can't have any games out here after dark.
Brad, with the developments like in the Tri-Cities area, some of these new parks, surely somebody,
If you look at them, they all say must go.
they do say they're all must go? Okay.
Every one of them.
Is there a different rep though than this guy's here?
I'll reach out, Bluefield Little League just did one 2 years ago, and I'll see if they've got another number.
That's something that you have contact.
Yeah, I'll find one.
Okay.
But I agree with Brad, Drew on that. I mean, if we're gonna, once we see the proposal, if we're gonna put the money forth to do it, I think we need to do it, with longevity and also, to standard. Number one, due to the fact of if the poles are too low, if you hit a high fly ball, it gets out of the light and it comes back through.
Right.
So I agree with him on taking care of that to the Little League standard as well.
All of those lights, when you speak to him, probably need to add 4 poles, if not 6, where we might, behind the shelters, where we might build pickleball courts.
Gotcha. Yes, and up on the pickleball courts, we've got them marked off, and we got them. I think we're gonna be able to do it. No problem. We'll cut some of that wall out there. We're just basically, our concrete guys are all covered up right now, and I think we'll put it off until next year's budget anyway. So.
Okay.
But those, I don't think it's gonna be a problem to fit 3, if not 4, fairly simple, and not lose any of the flat. We just tie on the existing concrete.
That was my only concern I talked to Brad is, I'd like to kind of where the shelter is and where it's, that line, when we use that field quite a bit for different things. I just didn't want it to come out too far.
If we wanted to do 4 of them,
going all the way to the fence.
we went all the way over, left a few feet over from the fence, and then to get 4 in there, you're probably looking at maybe 8 feet past where the basketball goal is right now, 8 to 10 feet.
And you won't have a center court if you do 4.
Since we brought that up, our community's really looking forward to it.
Okay. It's taking off, for sure.
So, just make sure that, Jim, we do want the field lit up. We also want good lighting at the, there, but at the basketball court.
Yeah, we talked about keeping those poles.
And then the trail, too.
The walking trail.
Yeah, we're talking about keeping those poles. Sure. Probably putting some floodlight, hang them down off of it. And
even
the new poles will be on the fence.
Even at the basketball court, those lights that we bought at the tennis court, those would be great there.
On the, you take the outfield poles, Brad, instead of hanging, is there a way, instead of hanging all the lights toward the baseball field, to add additional lights facing backwards toward the basketball court? Is that a possibility?
I think there's plenty of room that Jim could.
Or whoever, the poles that are there, existing poles right now, won't be the poles.
Right.
The baseball field will be up on the fence. So whatever those poles that are out there, as long as there's enough.
We can utilize them.
Those could have enough voltage and.
Those might be the ones we could retrofit.
Right.
Because he's gonna give you a price on retrofit.
Boys look good though with all those black poles and those wooden gone.
I'm just shooting to do it the right way. One time and done.
Yeah.
My next item on the manager's report, July 5th, I was looking at the board of supervisors minutes and meetings and reading through those and watching the video. And they came to find out that the Supreme Court and the governor has declared Friday, July 5th, a state holiday since it falls after July 4th. The county voted to do that, so I felt like I was my duty to ask if
So moved.
the town employees can enjoy that holiday as well.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We need to make the day up.
Trash on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. The next day they get to work, right?
So it's a state holiday declared by the governor, is that what you're saying?
That's
All in
Steve,
favor?
again, the county did that last week.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you all. Next item on my manager report is the Versa insurance renewal. Last year it did not increase, this year it did increase. We increased a total of $14,153, comes to a total of $158,014. The reason for the additions were the new van, the vacuum truck, the completion of the theater, and the property behind town hall that we required. When we did the budget, we were pretty close. We missed it by probably around $1,500 or so. That in certain spots, but we overestimated in other spots. So
This is our insurance for all our property and equipment.
correct. Yep. So we were pretty close on guessing the increase of it, so we hit it pretty good. But I'd ask for you to approve of that proposal, and I can get that started for the July 1 fiscal year.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second, okay? Any
Now we
further
have-
discussion?
And that'll be updated in the budget, correct?
Yes. Like I said, we weren't off here over a little bit on boiler insurance, down a little bit on automobile, that sort of stuff. So it's pretty close. I have a couple things I needed to add on here today.
We're gonna vote on that, Mayor?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I do well to keep up with one at a time.
Yeah, I know.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. Same side, okay, Mr. Short.
Today, we had another grid smart fail on the red light that we replaced a couple of those a month or so ago. Us went to 71 in Pittston Road. Now we've got the one when they switched it back on after Cedar Fest, when they switched it off caution. It's built on North Church Street. It's the MOI Vision that we just replaced. It picks up the software that picks up the zones. And right now, if you'll notice, in North Church Street, it's just going to be, until we get this replaced, it's just going to be on a timed sequence. It's not going to pick up zones and change when cars are in zones.
It's a company looked at.
Well, they've looked at the other two. It'd be the exact same
So
thing.
Mayor,
This is the same fix.
From that we have on Pittston Road and 71.
Okay.
so Main Street's affected by a timer,
Correct.
data center in town.
How many more lights do we have in town that's going to have to be changed?
The Wendy's one will have to be changed eventually, and
That's
the
right
one
here.
right here behind the town hall, and that should be it. Should be 5 total. Change
I'll
to
make a motion, go ahead and do all of them and get them done.
Get them fixed.
Because it's not a problem it's going to, it's when it's going.
Well, you gotta also look at, we can use VDOT urban maintenance money to do them now, just like the one that just failed. So
Yeah.
we gotta look at the budget on where we're at with the urban maintenance money, but now, first of next year, next fiscal year, we can go ahead and, that was already talked about anyway, phasing this year and next year.
Right.
So
Right.
there's
So
enough money in the budget right
Hang
now.
on. Hang on, we have a motion, need a second for the discussion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Now, continue. There, Mr. Ben.
So we can look at the urban maintenance budget, which we should have enough money in there to replace that MOI Vision that's out now, correct, Drew?
Correct.
Plus some laydown for supplies for the salt storage building that we're using. but we had talked about this about 2 months ago, about phasing these lights anyway. And come July 1, we were already gonna purchase the other two, correct?
Correct. But,
So it's in the works.
well, to be honest too, like I said, we've got that laydown material for the salt dome or salt storage facility. I feel like we can meet our limit on that if we get everything. If we wanted to get a second one to have on the shelf in case it went down, this one just happened to go down luckily the day of the council meeting. We're not sitting here waiting a month to get it. If we wanted to get a second one and shelf it in case one of the other ones did go down,
You had it out for a while over the weekend and turn it back on, don't work.
that could be a possibility too, because they both are urban maintenance and this company is on state bid.
They're on the state bid, that's what I thought. So we have a motion and a second.
My question is the budget. I mean, are we good? I mean, does it matter if we pay for it before July 1st or after July 1st? Are we good on the VDOT
You don't
budget?
get them in here.
Well,
But we can,
Well, my question is, though, have we exceeded our,
yeah, you don't
we
wanna-
need to exceed our VDOT budget for
You
sure.
do, but you don't want to exceed it too much, because here,
Yeah, there's
in
run.
20 days, we're going to be able to spend it
Yeah.
again.
But are we right on the mark?
No, we've got a little bit of slack.
Are we gonna be able to pay Clatterbuck before July 1st, for example?
yes.
We will be able to do that? Okay. All right.
I would recommend, with VDOT, looking at the VDOT and State Street and what Councilman Leonard and Kegler are talking about, I would recommend getting two and then maybe getting that third one out of next year's urban maintenance. That way we still have enough to get our salt
Sounds
storage
good.
to.
That way we're fixing all three of those. About that process,
Fix this one, we'll have
they're
it
all
on the
done.
shelf.
They'll all be fixed.
Correct.
Correct.
Just at the
All right.
motion.
Gotcha.
I'll amend my second to say that we're gonna purchase two now and one on the new budget.
You all right with that? You made
I
the
am.
motion?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
And that total is, 14,752 per unit.
All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
And then the last thing I have is, just like to brag on all the employees for Cedar Fest. There was a huge crowd, showed up, especially Saturday, it was a good crowd on both days. We ran into a hiccup of needing three-phase power the day before, we got that taken care of. We ran into a hiccup of JJ's trash service. His wife went into labor Friday evening or Thursday evening, so we got that taken care of. So, all of our guys stepped up and did a great job of tackling everything that was behind the scenes, and everything went great. And then obviously, Shane did a great job, his crew, and Miss Diane and Miss Beverly taking care of all of our singers and our acts. So
So
everybody,
we had to do the trash, I didn't know that.
we did do the trash.
Well, that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, everything looked great, Drew. Everything went well. Our employees did great, police department. Next day, couldn't even tell that we had that.
I was gonna say, woke up Sunday morning, never knew it was out there.
How late did they go? How late?
I talked to Billy this morning, he got home at 2:30, so
We
I
appreciate
had
it.
the boys, so I dodged it out. I skipped out about 1, so.
Yeah.
But I did put them picking up
Like for
trash
you.
for a while.
I'd like for you to draft a letter from the mayor of the town council to all employees,
Yeah.
reflecting their work and the appreciation that we have for their efforts. And I'll come by and sign it.
Just like your group, Eric, all the PD they look professional,
They really do.
acting professional, which we would expect nonetheless, but tell them thank you.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.
Same
Speaking
way,
of,
same way with the streets guys, Drew, they were constantly doing something.
great job.
There were several compliments about Cedar Fest and about, how, different citizens appreciated us putting forth the effort to put on events like that on Main Street specifically. That way they didn't have to worry about their kids, they didn't have to worry about traffic. They were very appreciative of that.
And speaking of the thank yous, we got our generator to three-phase power for the Russell County PSA. Let us borrow their generator.
Write us a letter.
So we'll get a letter.
Please.
I had
That was,
tremendous.
well, we wouldn't have had the last show without it. How about that? Am I right?
We wouldn't
Chase
have,
Matthew
we wouldn't have all the lights without it, yeah.
would have had
Or the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm
I
sorry.
had family in all weekend, and they traveled through town, they all stayed in Cleveland, but they traveled through town, traveled to Walmart. They all bragged on, from North Carolina and Florida, and they all just bragged about our little town. It's one of the beautifulest one they've ever been through, so.
Well, some of the performers said the same thing. That was talking
The
about
way
that.
that, I think, Diane and Beverly really take care of our performers as they come in and all the needs that they have. We assume that just happens, but I mean, we're talking about not only rooming, assignment, trying to get rooms, the food, and all those things. Today, I know we all appreciate what you all do very much. So, you got anything else?
I don't think anyone has any questions.
Sounds good.
Any questions at this time? Thank you, Drew.
Thank you all.
Now we've got, you want me to go ahead and take care of these bids too, tonight? Or is it just
Those
all
were
those?
last.
Give those to. All right. Chief, looks like you're up.
Yes, sir.
I'll just give you a quick rundown of May's activity report. We had a total of 75 summonses issued through town, 14 summonses, 18 warnings, and 43 criminal citations and warrants issued. We had 34 total arrests, 32 misdemeanor, 2 felony. There was also 19 indictments that weren't included on here that we got through a special, or through a grand jury. We hadn't added there yet, so you can add 19 to the felony arrest on that. 11 total motor vehicle crashes, 1 DUI arrest, 17 assist motors. Responded to a total of 626 calls for service for the month, 13,356 total patrol miles. Other than that, everything is pretty much business as normal. You guys are working out good. FTO process is going really good with all of them. Next, at the end of July, we will have Mr. Plaster and Mr. Campbell both into the academy. And then once they get out, Mr. Brown is currently in the academy. He's in starting about week 10. So once we get Mr. Plaster and Mr. Campbell in, we can have an entire certified crew. So Mr. Hurd is excited about his transition over July 1st. One thing I was going to let you know that I'm working with Mr. Watson, the Sheriff's Office, on cross-training with some of the SWAT guys, the TAC team guys with them. We don't actually have that in town, but they come in and help us. But he reached out to me and wanted to know if we would be interested in like maybe cross-training with him. So we're going to kind of work on that a little bit. So especially for him, because Mr. Hurd will be going out with those guys. So that will help.
How's Mr. Brown doing at the academy?
Mr. Brown's doing good. He is. I had spoke with Mr. Short and maybe talked with you guys about a couple of personnel issues. But overall, he's doing well. So we get a chance to talk about that in personnel.
Okay.
Also, I hadn't been here the last two because of baseball and stuff, and I hadn't had a chance to yet, but I'd like to personally thank Pastor Nunley. Him and his church are sponsoring Mr. Brown through the academy. They are sending cards of encouragement weekly, sometimes more than 1 week to him. He's very appreciative of that, and they have agreed to remember him in prayer once a week, or at least once a week, all the time. So I'd like to thank you and your church for that. I talked to him just last week, and it's a big help. So, that's all I really have.
Everything, you told me everything went well over the weekend at the events.
Sure did. The only really issue we had was we had a family lost. They could not find their 8-year-old child. Found us in the crowd, and it was very, very pleased. They found us within 15 minutes. We located the child and got back to
Was
the
that a Saturday night show,
Saturday night,
like
yeah.
the last one?
Mm-hmm. And it was simple, what we thought it was, he just snuck up front.
That's what Miles did.
Front of the
Lost
stage.
him.
And decided not to tell his parents where
He knows where you live over there, he can make it.
So, that was really the only reported issue to us throughout the whole night, everything else went well.
Good deal.
So,
Okay, thank you. Any questions while we have the chief here?
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tiller?
I don't have anything, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. He was the judge today. We're out of trouble, are we, Mr. Tiller? I understand you were on the bench today.
I was, yeah.
Okay.
You pass the gavel down.
Yeah. We need to, let's see, I believe we need a motion to go into executive session for personnel. And what was the other?
Legal and acquisition of property.
Legal and acquisition of property.
So moved.
Motion in a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
5 minute break.
Yeah, well, let's just meet in here first, like, let